Labour government's controversial housing plan sparks fresh backlash. The Labour government's latest housing initiative has sparked a heated political row, as plans to build or repurpose new council homes for asylum seekers and migrants face fierce criticism from opposition politicians and the public. Under a new pilot scheme backed by ministers, councils across England will receive about £100 million in funding to construct new homes or renovate empty properties to house people seeking asylum. The first phase is expected to deliver around 900 new properties, designed to replace the expensive use of migrant hotels and private contractor-run accommodation. The proposal has already drawn interest from nearly 200 local authorities, with several Labour-run councils, including Brighton and Hove, Hackney, Peterborough, Thanet, and Powys, confirming they are considering taking part in the scheme. Proponents argue that putting councils in charge of housing asylum seekers could cut costs and improve conditions compared with current arrangements. But the plan has also provoked intense backlash. Critics warn that diverting funding and newly built social homes toward asylum seekers will intensify pressures on an already strained housing system. England's social housing waiting list is at record levels, topping 1.3 million households, and thousands of council homes have been lost in recent years through right-to-buy and demolitions. Opposition figures have seized on the controversy. They say millions of pounds should instead be spent on clearing long waiting lists for local families and those in urgent need of permanent housing. Some have claimed the policy risks prioritising people with no legal right to remain in the UK over British residents who have waited years for a home. Government officials insist the scheme is part of a broader strategy to overhaul asylum accommodation after years of chaotic arrangements. With more than 100,000 asylum seekers currently housed in hotels and private rented accommodation, ministers say a shift to council-led housing could eventually reduce costs and improve stability. Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer has repeatedly emphasised his determination to end the use of asylum hotels altogether, pledging to close them as quickly as possible and replace them with more sustainable housing solutions. Supporters of the scheme say that in the long term, once asylum applications are processed and people move on, the newly built or refurbished homes could bolster local social housing stocks. That, they argue, would ultimately benefit the wider community by expanding housing availability. However, with housing shortages, political tensions over immigration, and growing public frustration around both issues, the debate over this housing plan is set to continue as councils and ministers work out the details of implementation.